welcome to the Meredith Show. I am so excited because my guest has come all the way from Northern California and she has an amazing inspirational story to share. She was a 213-pound teenager who was wheelchair bound and found her way to fitness through lots of trial and error. And in her adult life, she overcame not one, not two, but three unbelievable accidents. And I cannot wait to share her shine with you now. Joining us in the studio, Amy Woe. Thank you so much for being here. Thrilled to have you on set. And your story is nothing short of amazing. So let's start at the very beginning.
Okay.
As a little girl, you found yourself most unexpectedly in a wheelchair. Why were you in a wheelchair at such a young age?
Yes, it's such a wild story. And I don't know if wild is the right adjective, but it was the confluence of a lot of different things happening in my body that the doctors couldn't identify. It was joint issues. I was having a growth spurt. It was all of these things coming together. And their answer to me was to use crutches. I was in pain in my knees and they said, well, use a crutch. And when the pain spread to the other knee, they said, use two crutches. And then at one point, my mom saw me in so much pain, she decided to put me into a wheelchair. And this just compounded everything because
How old were you in the wheelchair?
In the wheelchair, it was around 12 and 13.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's a tough spot to be at as a little kid. And 213 pounds. But what's, I think, the most amazing part of the story is you turned it around. It wasn't a doctor. Tell us how you did it.
So I just realized, and there was this moment, you know, those aha moments that we have?
Yes.
My first aha moment was at age 13. And I remember seeing myself in the mirror. I was going to reach for my crutches. My mom had rung the dinner bell. And I go to reach for my crutches and I see myself and I didn't recognize myself at all. My face was inflamed. I was going through puberty, so face was inflamed. I had been medicating myself, not knowing at the time, but self-medicating with sugar. So everything was inflamed and I just didn't realize, I didn't know who this person was. And I decided in that moment that anything would be less painful than a life like that. And if that meant putting down the crutches and figuring out a different way, that's what it was going to take. I had no idea how I was going to move, having not really moved for almost 2 years at that point. And thank you to my sister who had brought Richard Simmons into our house. I found the Richard Simmons Sweat into the Oldies VHS tapes in our den.
I remember those and I love them. And it was so Richard who helped you turn it around.
That was what did it. It was that and Deal-A-Meal, because I had no idea how to eat. I was, like I said, self-medicating with sugar for years at that point, not even knowing what that was. So I had no idea how to eat properly. And that was my starting point.
Unbelievable. I love that. And so you released all that weight. You got out of the wheelchair. And you wound up running down a dream to get out of the cold. A very familiar story to me because I also wanted to escape the cold and wound up in my dream place, California. That happened for you too.
Yes.
But when you got here, you had quite a rude awakening. Tell me about that.
Well, I love that you made that connection because when I first moved to California about 23 years ago now, I was only here for maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years at that point. And I was training to become a personal trainer. I had already had graphic design in my bucket. That was already part of my skill set. But I always wanted to be a personal trainer as well, just to share my love of fitness. And the universe had a different idea for me. I was riding my bicycle from one client to the next, graphic design clients, and an 18-wheeler decided to make a turn on or after the light turned green, make a turn without a turn signal on. So we were both stopped at the light. The light turns green, we both start to go, and then he's making a wide turn. So he turns in front of me, runs me over, and I remember my wish was not to walk again. As I was going down, my wish was, I just want to dance again. Dancing is one of my favorite ways of moving my body, just for fun. And to have that taken away from me was going to be heartbreaking. So I remember right off the bat, putting these intentions into the universe of, I want to be able to walk again. Obviously, I want to be able to dance again. And that accident unfortunately, it looks like a paper cut compared to my second.
Wait a minute. What happened in this? An 18-wheeler runs you over. Most people don't live.
So I have a metal ankle. I have
Wow.
a 6-inch piece of metal with 6 screws in my ankle. This year is actually the 20th anniversary of that accident. So it's just amazing, life-turning time right now. But that's all that happened. That's all that happened out of that first accident was this incredibly destroyed ankle.
Once again, a miracle. Let's just recap this.
Right.
You went from 213 pounds as a teenager, completely reversing your own disease and coming back with health, beginning to certify as a fitness trainer, health coach, professional. You get hit by an 18-wheeler, and all you can think is, I'm not going to be taken down forever. I want to dance again.
Yeah.
And you made it through. Yes, you healed like unbelievably. And then you started to say it happened again.
So I love telling this story because it's a jaw dropper, and just that part of the story is a jaw dropper. But 3 years later, on the same day,
Oh my goodness.
I had my second bicycle accident. September 24th, 2004, September 24th, 2007. And the 2007 one almost took me out multiple times, almost brought me to death's door. It was a 17-year-old drunk driver, and I won't go into the details, but just a couple of the highlights were a broken neck, an ear that was detached, liver, almost lost my liver. And
Oh my goodness.
yeah, just from literally the top of my head to the tips of my toes
Was run over?
was damaged in some way.
Oh my goodness.
And it was in that particular experience where I couldn't use my hands. In the first accident, I could sit in a chair and I could do this and I could get my heart rate up. That's actually where I started Disco Wellness unknowingly. My business Disco Wellness was sitting in a chair. It was born from conga arms in a chair and listening to music and getting my energy up, getting my vibration up. But after that, the drunk driver, I couldn't do any of those things. I could barely move. So all I could do was envision myself in my mind doing those things. That was the only thing I had the power to do. So I focused on that, and I just focused on, what do I want to get back to doing? Definitely dancing, definitely riding my bicycle again.
Unbelievable. Most people would throw their bike in the garbage. I mean, let's be honest. I love you so much. It's like you're the resilience queen. And we talk about shine for those of you watching at home. This is the epitome of having the courage to not only make a comeback, but truly shine. So this happened not once, not twice, but 3 times. But wait, there's more, and that's not the kind of more we want to have. Unbelievable. So tell me how this transitioned
So
as we close out.
the third accident, I rarely even talk about the third one because it was just a broken pelvis.
Oh my goodness.
But by that point, I had become
Unreal.
so well versed in healing myself and realizing that I have this power not just to heal myself, but to heal others. Like, I can use all of these tools that I've used for myself. I know this is not just for me. I know all of these experiences are not just for me. And having recovered and thrived through that third one, that's where I really discovered nutrition as a tool for healing. It was after recovering from all 3 of those things, especially that third one, where I realized it's now my time to share this with the world. Like, I'm better to the point where I can be able to share this with the world.
And you found your mission and your current company, Disco Wellness. This is literally what you do. You actually have, by the way, you inspire me so much, food prep parties every Sunday of your life because you're so committed to health. And it's always infused with music and fun. But before we close out, you've created a business and it has several pillars that are really important for people to know, that they can join in a membership and work out with you on Zoom. I did it for years. I just love your energy, Amy. And coming through all that, a lot of times it takes people down. And for you, it brought you up. And it really embellished not only your mission, but it brought your heart and gifts out to the world. So tell us how you share them and how people can work with you now.
Thank you for asking all this. So Disco Wellness it's a few different things. First of all, let's go to the pillars: mindset, meditation, movement, nutrition, and creative expression. So for me, those are my personal tool. That's my personal core tools in my toolbox that I use to recover from anything, any setback. I like to call myself the comeback queen.
Yes, you are. She earned it if you're watching, right? Can I get an amen? A yes, please. And yes, you shine. Okay. We're just about out of time. So how do people work with you?
Right. So I work with people one-on-one, but more importantly, I host a membership club called the Disco Ballers Club. And we meet twice a week, or at least I promise.
Disco Ballers
The
Club.
Disco Ballers Club.
Yes, thank you.
Always on brand. So I promise 6 to 8 live Zoom classes a month, depending on if I'm traveling. Sometimes I can't do every Tuesday and Thursday, but they're on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 12:15 to 1 PST, 3:15 to 4 EST.
And I love it. People rock out from all over the country. Yes, to
That's
work
the
with
gift
you.
of Zoom for sure.
Yes. So you're a certified personal trainer. You also have certifications in nutrition?
I am a wellness coach, a certified wellness coach. So I'm not a nutritionist, but I'm also a certified yoga teacher and group exercise instructor.
For more on Amy Woe, you need to check, if you're watching at home, all of her information out on the screen. She actually offers free consultations, and I promise you, no matter what, 5 minutes on the phone with Amy Woe, you're going to be on fire, inspired, and pretty sure you'll be moving pretty soon in a good way. Moving and grooving, as you like to say. Yes?
Yeah.
Right, Amy? Thank you, Amy Woe, so much for being on the show. Thank you so much for watching at home. And I know you know somebody out there doing something amazing. Don't keep it to yourself. Take a little time and share the love. And if you're watching us, not on TV, but online, hit the share button and share this segment, because inspiration is what we all need more of. And Amy Woe, your story and your mission, and you shine bright. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Meredith. It's been a pleasure.
Be sure to follow The Meredith Show on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.